Hey friends, welcome to Tori Talks TV, and welcome to our review of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel Season 3, Episode 6, which is called Kind of Blue.
Bleu.
As in fountain blue.
Bleu.
Yeah, blue.
You can't say it without pouting a little
I
bit.
have to. Well, Abe and Rose are still in Florida, so thank goodness, because they're so funny.
I love how Florida looks in this season, by the
Yes.
way. And I love how they opened this episode with that Esther Williams-esque opening. You know, those water ballet.
The synchronized swimming.
Yeah, synchronized swimming, that
Yeah.
whole thing. It's so beautiful. It just throws back to that era.
Did you notice they made the Jewish star, the Star of David,
Oh!
with their bodies? I
didn't
totally
know that.
noticed
That's
that.
awesome.
Oh, I love it. Those little details
Yes.
makes it. Okay, I have to talk about what I think is the funniest set of scenes
Mhm.
in the whole season. I think I've said
Yes.
this already in previous reviews, but no, this is it. This wins.
Mhm.
It's when Suzy is tasked with pacing Rose with
Oh my
the
gosh.
alcohol
So good.
during Midge's performance. And mind you, this is the first performance that her mother's ever seen, which is really sad. But oh my gosh, the exchange between the actresses
Yeah.
is comedic genius.
So good.
It's so, I can't get over it. The look. Okay. Okay, because Rose is just downing them.
Mhm.
And she's kind of like being snappy with Suzy because she's trying to tell her to stop.
Mhm.
And I love when Suzy like just knocks over the martini glass. She's like, oops. And the look of like disgust from Rose. Oh my gosh, I can't get over it. I honestly think that Maren Hinkle, who plays Rose,
Mhm.
I think she's really like stepped up her comedy.
She is so good. Like the whole season, she's been amazing.
Yeah, maybe because I was saying Alex Borstein needs a lead actress nomination.
Oh, and
maybe
then
she
the
could be
supporting.
supporting.
Oh, I like
yeah,
that.
because she's really getting to flex her comedy muscles
Mhm.
this season.
Definitely.
Wow, I love that. All right, and then of course Abe is there too.
Mhm,
So we have
of
to talk about Abe.
Yes. So he
yeah.
like spent some time with an old friend of his.
Yeah.
And I feel like Abe has kind of had this crisis all season where he
Mhm.
like wants to do something important with his life, and he like finds his long lost blacklisted friend and just talks about like what might have been if that hadn't happened.
Right.
Played by Jason Alexander, which was kind of weird. I was like, wait, is that George?
All I thought was
listening, I
Seinfeld.
was like, oh yeah.
Yes,
So
it is.
It's a little weird.
Yes, it is. But I'm excited to see Abe writing again.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Happy for him.
I am
I didn't
too.
really love his storyline throughout this season,
Yeah,
so
he's kind of like trying to discover who he really is.
yeah,
I feel like that's something that's kind of been playing out through the whole season.
the existential crisis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens with that.
Yes.
We have to go back to Suzy though,
Mhm.
because I think Suzy has a gambling problem.
She does
I
have
think
a
that's
gambling
for
problem.
sure
I'm
now.
very worried about her.
I am too. I'm worried
Mhm.
about them.
Yes.
Smidge. Isn't that what they're
Smidge?
Suzy Midge?
Aw.
That's their couple's name.
That's cute.
Yeah, so Suzy's been commuting back and forth between Miami and New York because of Sophie Lennon, the diva that she is, and she's in production with Miss Julie,
Mhm.
which it's not terrible, but her behavior is terrible. That whole she calls and like tells on the Gavin guy, and then Gavin calls Suzy and tells on. They're just
very
complaining.
immature. There's some
Immature.
childishness going on in that Broadway life.
Is that what Broadway life
I don't
or
know.
Broadway
I
people
don't
are
wanna
really
speak
like?
ill of Broadway people. I don't know any of them.
I don't know
But that's
either.
the image that they're creating.
Yes. Well, also in New York, Joel is there.
Mm-hmm.
I roll Joel. Sorry.
Joel.
I'm sorry. Joel has become now suspicious of May.
Mhm.
I am too, though.
Yeah.
What's up with her and all her magic? Things just appear when she's around.
Right.
But they do end up getting in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because he wants to do this club himself. He wants to provide everything for himself.
Mhm.
And she's just trying to help. I see both sides. But it's kind of like, put your pride aside,
Yeah.
Joel. And I really think he has a problem with being intimidated by strong women.
I do too.
That's gotta be
He
what it is.
doesn't want, because Midge always bailed him out, was the
Mhm.
one who kind of saved the day all the time, and now that May is trying to do the same thing, he has like a little bit of insecurity.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Mm.
I think. Yes.
That's what
Okay.
it feels like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. So let's talk about the most powerful scenes of this episode between Midge and Shy.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So he throws a little bit of a fit, I suppose, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And his production, his people, his entourage are like, forget this guy.
They're not surprised though.
But they're not surprised.
So like this has happened in the past.
Yeah. Well, he threw a fit and he threw food and it was ugly. So of course Midge was like, sweet and wanted to see what was going on. And then they go on a little boat ride.
Yeah.
And they bond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her outfit was adorable.
She finally got to wear her outfit. She mentioned that, so I'm sure she'd love that you mentioned that. Yeah. So that was a really pleasant scene. But then let's cut to later in the episode where he doesn't show up for the show.
No.
And again, his entourage is not surprised. And they're actually being kind of cold about it, but they're probably just over it, you know. But Midge is concerned because that's how she is. Yes. And she goes and finds him on the boat, the very same boat, but he's bloody.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so scared.
I know.
I didn't know. I was really afraid of what we were going to find when she got to the boat. I was like, did he hurt himself? I didn't know.
I thought he might be dead.
Yeah.
For like a second.
Like she was going to find him dead. I know. Yes. But, you know, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel isn't that dramatic, so
no,
couldn't have been.
Right, you're right.
Couldn't have been that bad.
To extremes.
No, I know. But, yeah, they do have a good way of keeping it light, even the heavy stuff. True. But, yeah, she finds him bloody and beaten, and I guess this is where we find out more about him and his lifestyle. And, oh, gosh, the exchange of when he said that he went out and someone did this to him, and she's like, who could she have been? Like, this woman. And he's like, oh, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, that said it all.
Yes.
Just those two words.
I know.
So he's obviously gay.
Yes.
And there's a big reality check for Midge, I think, with this. Because, you know, she's kind of been the pampered Jewish princess, if I'm sorry if I could say that. Hope it's not offensive. But that's what we're led to believe. And so she got to see somebody else's world. I mean, she didn't even realize that he can't stay in the same hotels.
Yeah, I noticed
she
that
stays
too.
In.
That was really moving. Like where they couldn't even go do his makeup in her room because he was like, I can go in your hotel.
Exactly. Yeah. That was I just like it that she's learning from this trip, and you know,
like she's like facing the real world now and seeing what it's like out there.
Exactly. Yeah. And she again does what she does best, and she put makeup on him, and she fixed him up, and she got him back on track.
Yeah.
But he definitely was hurting, and when he did get there to the showroom, he said, we're doing the stool set.
Yeah, he grabbed the stool. And then how all the musicians were like, oh, it's a
stool set.
Stool set.
Like
why
they all,
stool set?
They all know what that means.
And then Reggie saw, and then he had some like reaction to that too. Like,
so that really moved me. The pain in Reggie's eyes was palpable. Yes. I felt it for him, and then my head started going like, wait a minute. What does that mean?
I was like, what's in their history? How do they know each other? What does Reggie know? Exactly. Just all these questions kind of like
flooded,
racing in my head.
Yes, definitely. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there, but I do remember saying, you know, something going on between them. I remember thinking that. So
yeah, definitely could tell that he knew something and he had some strong feelings about it, but it was just it wasn't answered in that episode.
It wasn't.
No.
Yeah. That was really sad. And the song that he sang had something to do with "No One Has to Know" in the lyrics. Yeah, it was really sad.
I like how they use songs in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel to like express feelings.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
and they did it with Lenny Bruce last season.
Yeah,
that was really good.
They've done it all along, and it's only gotten better. And she's been really highlighting performances. Did you notice that? You see a lot of. It's not just like a little glimpse of that set, like that song he sang. It's like a good portion of it. Yeah. The synchronized swimming, all of that. Yes. I like that. She's showcasing the entertainers. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for that episode. So we'll pick up with episode 7. Thank you for watching, everybody. See you then.